Thank you, Akila ma'am. A very good afternoon, all the participants. I'm extremely happy that I get connected to you after quite some time. I think last time when I did this webinar, it was somewhere in March 2013. And once again, thanks to CAI for giving me this opportunity. As Akila ma'am said, this is the first program in the IR series planned by CII, and this is with respect to the contract labor. As all of you are aware, the subject itself is a hot subject. Managements now resort to engagement of contract labor for very many reasons. Mainly, most of the managements, they want to have flexibility in employment. That is one reason they want to resort to this type of practice, contract labor. And managements also want to focus on their core activities. So the core activities, they engage their own employees, and whatever activities considered as non-core, they would like to leave those areas to the other experts who automatically become contractors. And the third main reason is the caste part. Most of the managements again feel that engagement of contract labor would bring in some sort of reduction in wage caste, and that is one more reason why people resort to engagement of contract labor. Maybe these are all more from a business perspective. Whatever be the reason, when a particular job is entrusted to a third party called maybe an agency or even an individual, in the eyes of law, he will be considered as contractor, and consequently, many of the labor legislations will become applicable to those contractors as well as people engaged by those contractors, namely the contract labor. And it is primarily the responsibility of the contractor to comply with the provisions applicable to him. Of course, if he fails to do so, in many cases, the liability will revert to the principal employer. So understanding this particular aspect is crucial for any management, any company to stay compliant. Maybe with this introduction, I'll just get into the presentation part. We are now in slide number 2. See, the Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act. This was enacted in 1970, and this came into force in 1971. It serves twin objective. One is the regulation, and another one is the abolition. The ultimate purpose of the act is to abolish in toto the engagement of the contract labor, but the immediate purpose is to regulate. But this was the original intention when the act was brought into force in 1971. But as I said in the beginning, like it or not, the contract labor system has come into stay. With the current business trend, I'm afraid whether people will be able to totally dispense with this particular system. So regulation becomes important now. So since the contract workers are engaged in many areas, in almost all the types of industries, understanding the provisions of the Contract Labor Act, understanding the responsibility of the contractor, understanding the responsibility of the principal employer, those things are some importance, and complying with all those things will save the company and its image, and this will also be considered as part of the corporate governance. And as you are all aware, the subject labor falls under the concurrent list of the Indian Constitution, which means both the central government as well as various state governments will have powers to enact laws. And so it is the labor laws are generally federal in nature. Maybe for many legislations, those legislations are enacted by central government, whereas some of the legislation specific to states are enacted by various state governments. And this Contract Labor Act is also federal in nature. It is a central legislation. I would like to draw your attention to the second point of slide number 2. So this is a central legislation, and this has got the central rules, that is set of rules enacted by the central government as well as rules enacted by various state governments. So maybe for each industry, which is the appropriate government, whether it is the central government or it is the state government, that is to be ascertained first. If it is decided that the appropriate government is the central government, then for that company, for that industry, the provisions of the central legislation along with the central rules will be applicable. In case if for a particular company or an industry, the appropriate government is legislation along respect. So that is are all the compliance activation as well as appropriate rules. We have to be that we comply with